Well, today is the day, the 9th and final instalment of our look at the 7 best footballers in each position in world football. We may well do another video on the 7 best managers, and we will certainly do one on our combined HITC Sevens World 11 after that, but today is the turn of the centre forwards. Goals are often described as the currency of football, and it has long been a striker's job to score as many as possible of them. That has changed somewhat over the last few decades, as centre forwards are expected to contribute to multiple phases of play, whilst it's not that uncommon for a team's midfielders or wide players to score as many if not more goals than their striker. Take Liverpool right now as a prime example. So centre forwards come in all different shapes and sizes, from false nines to cold-blooded poachers, and for the first time in a while I feel pretty confident that there's nothing I'd change about my 7. Of course, this wouldn't be YouTube if a whole host of you didn't disagree though, so let's get underway. Here are our 7 best centre forwards in world football. Edinson Cavani. Kicking us off in 7th place is a man I've previously admitted I underrated during his time at Napoli. Now in the autumn of his career though, there could be no doubts about the Uruguayan's class. His sheer goal-scoring record at Napoli and PSG speaks volumes, having bagged 104 goals in 138 games in Naples and 192 goals in 274 games in the French capital, and his record of 46 goals from 109 caps for Uruguay isn't bad either. Cavani isn't the most creative of centre forwards, but he has an incredible work rate, really intelligent movement, and a deadly finish. His physicality and anticipation make him a nightmare to defend against, and the 32-year-old has become PSG's all-time record goalscorer after just 6 seasons at the club. He gets the ball rolling with this 7. Antoine Griezmann. As you can see, there's no messing about with this 7, and our honourable mentions between 1st and 2nd place will show the incredible talent that missed out. One man who can't miss out though is Atletico Madrid talisman Antoine Griezmann. Aged 28, it has been 7 seasons since Griezmann has failed to bag 20 plus goals in a campaign, and that was back when he wasn't even really playing as a centre forward for Real Sociedad. Griezmann can operate as either an attacking midfielder or as a left winger, and often does for France, but is primarily a centre forward at club level, and that's where we feature him in this series. Such a well-rounded forward, Griezmann has fantastic technique, slick movement, and a clinical finish. He isn't as prolific as Cavani, but he's much more creative, he tends to take up slightly deeper positions, and he's playing in a stronger league in a less attack-minded setup. We think 6th place is just right. Robert Lewandowski. I thought Robert Lewandowski looked just a little bit off the pace of things and not quite his usual self at the 2018 World Cup. Whether he was carrying a knock I'm not quite sure, but any doubts about whether he was starting to wane now into his 30s have been well and truly banished. The Polish frontman has scored 37 goals this season at the time of this recording, having scored 41 last season, 43 the season before that, and 42 in the season before that. Overall, Lewandowski has scored 188 goals in 238 games for Bayern Munich, and you are unlikely to find many more consistent and reliable goal scorers on the planet. Following 4 impressive seasons in Poland as a youngster, it was in Lewandowski's 2nd season at Borussia Dortmund that he announced himself as one of the world's finest strikers. Graceful, tireless and two-footed, he has reached yet new heights at Bayern Munich, and this is the 4th time in 6 seasons that he has been named as the top scorer in the Bundesliga. Lewandowski is undoubtedly a top 5 striker in the world as far as I'm concerned. SUAREZ. The 2nd player from the exceptional but tiny football-loving nation of Uruguay in this 7, SUAREZ proved his class once again in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against his former club Liverpool, although I'm recording this video prior to the 2nd leg. SUAREZ has obviously cut a controversial figure throughout his career, and I shouldn't think he'll be winning too many awards for sportsmanship anytime soon, but we're evaluating the chompy striker purely on his footballing talents. In that respect, there have been few finer forwards over the last decade than SUAREZ. Nasty, aggressive, intelligent, creative, a menace with his movement, and a scorer of both wonderful and scrappy goals. At Liverpool, we saw the genius of SUAREZ in a team built around him. At Barcelona, he, like anyone, has had to play 2nd stage to Lionel Messi, but that's brought out a whole new side to the 32-year-old's game. He has become really unselfish, yet he still registers excellent numbers in front of goal. This could be a rare season in which SUAREZ fails to hit 30 plus goals at the Camp Nou. having scored 177 in 246 games over the last 5 seasons, but his overall play has been outstanding once again. Suarez takes 4th place for me. Harry Kane. A lot of people talk about Harry Kane as though he's a sort of strong, single-minded goalscorer, but the story told and the truth often aren't the same thing. Make no mistakes, Harry Kane is a brilliant footballer, not just a brilliant goalscorer. He is industrious, he has really good technique, and he's a fine crosser of the ball. Now, in addition to that, Kane's finest attribute is of course his goalscoring, and he's arguably the best out-and-out centre-forward in the world. In the art of shooting, there are a few finer than Kane, from long range, close range, deft flicks over a goalkeeper's head, or powerful back-post headers. He possesses incredible power and accuracy. The result has been 159 goals in 228 games since his breakthrough season at Tottenham in 2014-15, in addition to 22 goals from 37 caps for England. I have seen people say that Tottenham are a better team without Harry Kane. Those people are silly people. Kane is a remarkable talisman, a brilliant footballer, and an even better goalscorer. With 2 Premier League Golden Boots and 1 World Cup Golden Boot to his name at the age of 25, we'd say Kane is the 3rd best striker in the world. Sergio Aguero. These kind of sevens can get a bit gushy since you tend to run out of superlatives when talking about such exceptional footballers. When Sergio Aguero is firing on all cylinders, he's not just one of the best strikers in the world right now, but one of the most devastating I've ever seen. Everything about Aguero is explosive. His acceleration, his movements across defenders, and of course his finishing. He's got such brilliant balance that he can stand up to almost any physical challenge. Earlier in the season, we saw him giving Virgil van Dijk the runaround, and how many players have done that this season? Probably only him and Messi. Aguero has always been a fantastic goalscorer, but he has become so much more than that under Pep Guardiola. His touch and technique are brilliant, he's become more creative, selfless, and intelligent in his movement. In the last 6 seasons, Aguero's worst goal-scoring return was 28, and he scored those 28 goals in just 34 games. His minutes per goal ratio is extraordinary, and this season could possibly become the best of his career, on 31 goals in all competitions at the time of this recording. Honourable mentions. As I've said in every one of these videos, there are too many brilliant players for me to ever give them all the credit that they deserve, and that is especially true today with the strikers. I had a page-long shortlist before whittling down to my top 7, so I'll give a bit of time to the most honourable of the honourable mentions, and then just quickly rack off some of the names of those others. The man who possibly came the closest to making our 7 was Inter Milan striker Mauro Icardi, who has been brilliant for the last 5 seasons now, during which time he scored 134 goals in 188 games. In the Premier League, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been very prolific for both Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga over the last few years, combining lightning pace with a sharp eye for goal. As a totally different type of centre-forward, Roberto Firmino has done an equally important and often unappreciated job at Liverpool. His goal-scoring record is overshadowed by Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane's, but Firmino's work rate and creativity is an invaluable asset to Jurgen Klopp's side. It would be wrong not to mention Karim Benzema, whose contribution to the last decade of success at Real Madrid is often overlooked. Like Suarez at Barca, Benzema understood that he wasn't the main man at Real, but he still had numerous 20-plus goal seasons and put in the hard yards and created openings for those around him. He scored 30 goals in 51 games this season. If they are the few outstanding candidates, other players we have to mention include the likes of Serie A breakout star Krzysztof Piątek, Eintracht Frankfurt duo Luka Jovic and Sebastian Haller, RB Leipzig star Timo Werner, Sampdoria's renaissance man Fabio Quagliarella, who is having the best season of his career at the age of 36, Roma target man Edin Dzeko, Napoli star Dries Mertens, Man City backup Gabriel Jesus, Manchester United's £75 million frontman Romelu Lukaku, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's Arsenal strike partner Alexander Lacazette, Juventus and Argentina man Paulo Dybala, if one classifies him as more of a centre-forward than as an attacking midfielder, and despite enduring the poorest spell of his career on loan at Chelsea, we should probably give a quick nod to Gonzalo Higuain too. Now, there'll probably be people out there saying what about Ciro Immobile, Callum Wilson, Raul Jimenez, Paco Alcacer, Dario Benedetto, Falcao, etc, etc. I can only name a certain amount of players, it'll never be enough, and I'll always miss people, but the 7 itself I think is pretty solid. A quick word to those who are new to the series: if someone really outstanding like Lionel Messi has missed out, it's safe to assume they were considered for another 7, the right wing one in Messi's case. Anyhow, talking of the 7 proper, here is your top spot. Cristiano Ronaldo. Only ever in doubt, if you were new to the series and weren't sure if Cristiano Ronaldo featured in our left wing 7. Well, he didn't, so it's safe to assume he tops our centre forward one. Simply put, one of the greatest footballers of all time, Ronaldo has gone from a slim, tricky flair player when he first arrived at Manchester United to a powerful, all-action superstar when he left. By the time he left Real Madrid, and now at Juventus, Ronaldo's game had transitioned once again, this time into a dead-eyed, pure goal-scoring striker. In terms of his attacking movement and sheer anticipation, at this stage of his career, Ronaldo might be the best goalscorer of my lifetime. He is an absolute force of nature in the air, and so composed and precise in the finish. Ronaldo has always been renowned for his incredible drive, determination and work ethic, and he's reaping the rewards once again since he continues to be one of the best players in the world at the age of 34. Ronaldo averaged better than a goal a game whilst playing as a centre forward for Real Madrid, and he's now scored 27 goals in 40 games since joining Juventus. If he wasn't playing in the same era as Messi, he would be completely out on his own in a fantasy realm with those kind of numbers. A gem of a footballer and a man capable of turning any game on its head, Cristiano Ronaldo will of course make our combined World 11. So that's it for our 7. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more from us if you enjoyed the video, and you can now also follow us on Twitter for more ramblings from me. Our username is simply @HITC Sevens.